Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. If you've seen from the description, I'm just going to be sharing my positive birth story. Had my baby at 34 weeks. What I've learned in this 1 week of postpartum. So I'm currently 1 week postpartum. I came back from the hospital on Thursday, so I kind of had my baby Saturday and today Sunday. So we are literally 1 week postpartum. What I've learned in this journey and how things can just move so fast. I hope that this helps someone or this prepares someone ahead in case they find themselves in this situation. So without no further ado, let's dive right into today's video. Where do I even start from? It's a lot. This pregnancy journey, I didn't really do much. The little I did, I was able to document it. And so if you've not been following the series, when I packed my bag, and thankfully, thank God I did pack my bag when I did. The way everything happened, it was just good. Let me not digress too much. Please do check out those videos. Saturday last week, I woke up in the morning. I was feeling hungry. Then I went to make breakfast. I had plantain and egg. That was what I felt like eating. I just said, let me relax. I think I had laundry I was doing. Yeah, I was a bit energetic that morning. I wanted to do laundry, get laundry out of the way. I did the first batch of laundry. I put it outside to dry. I put out some toys outside. I'll take my son to the garden and we're going to just have enjoy the sun. That was the plan for the day. And around 10 o'clock I was just let me just lie down in bed and just relax. And now you do too much, just relax. I sat on the bed. Suddenly I had this streak of water. So I thought it was pee. Then I went to the bathroom, kept cleaning. The water keep dropping. And I'm like, this is not pee. I just changed it up. It can't be what I'm thinking. I already had this experience before with my first, because when my water broke, it was also a trickle of water here and there, but the water was constant. If you wear a pad, it will be full. But this one, the water wasn't constant. It was more 10 minutes, then 15 minutes again, there's a trickle of water, and I wore a pad. I saw that the pad was not too full, but a bit full. Let me just go get it checked. I almost didn't go to the hospital. I thought I've got a scan on Tuesday anyway, that I'm sure I can wait it out. Something said, bring out the baby bag. And I brought out the hospital bag. The only thing that I didn't pack in there was toiletries. Another thing said I should get shower my baby, make calls. Worst case scenario, if I have to go to the hospital, we would look after my son. So I started making calls. Most of the people that were local around me, they were oh, they had commitment, they are not around, or they will be at home in an hour. Worst case scenario, if I can't get someone to look after him, I'll call my husband and my husband would come get him. Called my husband and said, heads up, I think something isn't right and I might have to go to the hospital. And now I was oh, are you sure you can't wait? I don't think it's a big deal, but I just need someone to take our son. But in case I am unable to find someone, that's why I'm telling you that I need to just dash to the hospital. And I was okay, that's fine, you just go ahead. So I called the hospital and I explained to them, and they were okay, just come in, we'll get you checked out, we'll see you when you get here. Mind you, the hospital is an hour away from me. And I went to take a shower. After the shower, I still saw that I was still leaking. I wore a pad. Thankfully, I already bought all those maternity pads, because I remembered from my son's delivery, that one started with contractions, then my water broke. That was the same thing they told me. They said I should wear a pad, and within an hour I called them back to tell them how full the pad would be. But then that was 38 weeks and 5 days. This one was 34 weeks and 5 days. So there was no way I was having a baby. And I read it on Google. They were oh, sometimes you might have a leak early, it might be an infection. That was what prompted me to call. One of the people I also called to say, can they take my son, also told me that it's better I go to the hospital, because similar thing happened to her with her last baby. By the time she got to the hospital, her amniotic fluid has dried up. She had to undergo a CS. Drove myself down to the hospital. As I was driving, I was almost crying. I was crying because why is this happening now? Why is this pregnancy just so different, just so hard? I was scared. Oh, what if I lose the baby? But then I kept prophesying, nothing dies in my hand. I'll carry this baby to full term. I've always prayed that prayer from day one, because I was sick all the time. There shall be no mishap. Those that have congratulated me for being pregnant, they will also come and congratulate me for having a baby, nothing otherwise. So I was just feeling so much emotions, what was going on. The next day, which was also a Sunday, was supposed to be my pregnancy photo shoot. So I've already ironed my clothes, already laid out my hair, already watching makeup tutorials. How I was going to slay. Already had everything planned, so there was no way I was having a baby. Anyway, I got to the hospital. The drive was so smooth. I was so thankful. As soon as I got to the hospital, I was not even feeling a streak of water or anything. Nothing was dropping anymore. Then they checked me in. So I called my husband. It's really not a big deal. If you've left work, maybe you can go back. Okay, maybe just go home, pick up our son, then you guys just come to the hospital. I'm sure it's nothing. But it was like, no, I'll come to the hospital first, check you. If everything goes well, then I'll just go home, or we'll all go home. I'm like, okay, that sounds like a plan. Before my husband arrived, the doctor told me, it's nothing, your cervix is still very close. Thankfully, you're not in labor. I'm like, that's good. But they can see that there's a leak, but it's nothing. Worst case scenario, keep me for 24 hours. That most women always go into labor within those 24 hours. They will just put me on steroid for the lungs of the baby and give me antibiotics within those 24 hours that I'll be in the hospital. If I don't go into labor, they will give me oral antibiotics just to keep the baby till 37 weeks at least, to full term, so that the water doesn't dry off also. And after 37 weeks, they'll probably have to induce me if I still don't go into labor. And I'm like, oh, makes sense, sounds like a plan. I dressed up. I was sitting on the bed waiting for them to put in the calendula or something on my hand to pass the IV for the antibiotics and steroids that the baby would need for the lungs. As I sat down, my husband arrived and we're just gisting that, oh, there was really nothing. They said they're just going to like give me antibiotics, place the baby on steroids. My husband heard about steroids and he was like, he wants to see the facts. Why would they put the child on steroids? He's not happy with that. They were doing back and forth. In my mind, I pray to God that if steroids is what the child would need, that God should touch my husband's heart and allow us to go through the procedure. If not necessary, or if it's going to cause any problem to the child, then he should still say no. And when they offered steroids, my husband said no steroids. While they were both arguing and discussing with the doctor, this contraction started. I didn't even know what it was. I just started having these cramps. It was so painful. Something doesn't feel right. I like, why, like, am I in so much pain? And they came, they checked, they were like, you're 4 centimeter dilated. Called the neonatal nurse, she's in labor, call this and that. And I'm like, see, you say my service is closed. How can I be 4 centimeter dilated? I got to the hospital maybe around 12 or 1 o'clock. These contractions or pain, cramps, whatever it is, started around 3. And you're telling me I'm 4 centimeter dilated. How? Make it make sense. And they wheeled me to the labor ward. Started calling all the doctors that need to be in attendance because of the fact that the baby was premature. They said they were going to give me gas. That, do I want any other pain relief? I said no. My last baby, I used gas and I was fine. Even the gas I used for my last baby was not even working well, because this one, I could feel the impact of the gas. As the contractions was ongoing back to back, they were monitoring me. I couldn't talk. The midwife was asking my husband, do I go quiet when I'm in pain? If they say something needs to be done, I'll give them thumbs up. It was that bad. You guys actually expect me to talk in this period. Like what? Long story short, between 3 o'clock when contraction started and 4:40, that's like how many hours? 1 hour 40 minutes, is it? I started feeling like a push. One thing I would say is listen to your midwife when you are birthing your baby. One thing that will avoid you having a tear is when you listen, and that really helped me in this delivery, because as soon as the midwife discovered that I was about to push, your body is just so amazing. God has placed everything in the right place that your body just tells you when the baby is coming. Your body just does what it needs to do for the baby to be out. It's just a mystery. I can't explain it. God is just so wonderful. The first time I felt like pushing, hold up. And the second one, she said, I can see the baby's head. Don't push. And the third time she said, push slowly. There's a way she said, is it like I should suck my belly in or something? Whatever she said I should do, I think it worked. And I think my body listened. The baby came out gradually and there was no tear. The first time there was a tear. This one there was no tear. And everybody was saying, oh, because the baby is tiny, it's always easy to push out the tiny baby. In my head, who told you I want to even push this baby out now? Fine. I couldn't wait for the pregnancy to be over because I was always sick. I think God just knew what was right for my body. The way God planned this pregnancy, I didn't even know I was pregnant. I kept denying that I cannot be pregnant. I'm not planning to have a baby in 2026. My plan for a baby is 2027. So there's no way I can be pregnant. I was living in that denial. I was also living in the denial that there's no way the baby was coming out at 34 weeks. But thankfully that it wasn't serious, because I've heard so many stories of people that go into preterm labor and they end up having to get CS. If you have gone through CS, either elective CS, either emergency CS, choosing that route, I want to commend you. You are very, very strong. You are very, very brave. Anybody that says you going through CS is being lazy, person should go and get pregnant and let's see whether it's is lazy. You are having a vaginal birth. You might probably have a tear of which they will stitch back. You'll be fine. You might not be able to sit for a while. You might not be able to have sex until after like 6 weeks, but it's not as hard and difficult with when you have CS. Somebody that has vaginal birth, 24 hours, everything goes smoothly. The baby is healthy. The mother is healthy. They will discharge you. If you have CS, sometimes 7 days you are still there. You are changing your stitches. You are changing your catheter. You are carrying IV to walk about all the everywhere. I feel like it's just so traumatic, and if you've gone through that route, I do have my heart for you. Don't allow anybody to ever call you lazy for choosing that route either. Maybe I'm just talking, but I think I'm so scared of that CS route. To be honest, I'm so scared of it because I think it's a lot, and if you've gone through that route, salute. You are really, really strong, and you know the aftercare also and everything. In fact, kudos to all mothers, no matter the route you use in giving birth. Anyway, I just want to put that out there. By the way, after the labor, delivery, they checked that the baby was breathing. The neonatal nurse or the neonatal doctor took the baby from the midwife, tried to put oxygen on him, but they discovered that he was breathing on his own. He didn't really need the oxygen, so they just put him on oxygen for maybe like 5-10 minutes. They just said he was fine. They weighed him. They gave him to me, give him breast milk, and that was it. Delivery done and dusted. And now to the part 2. After delivery, we were taken to the ward, come to check on you, do their rounds and checks on the baby, check on the mother, so that you're okay, you're fine. 24 hours will be going home. Nope. Day 1, they checked him, they said it was okay. They said they need to check his glucose level every 2 hours, of which they did, and they cleared him that it was alright. So before each feed, they need to check his glucose level. He passed the glucose testing. He didn't have any low glucose level. The next one was they needed to place him on every 4 hours observation, which would take us to like about 12 hours. So definitely we're not going home on that day. We're not going home the next day. Initially they said they were going to discharge us in 24 hours, and I'm like, are you guys going to give a pretend baby to take home? This baby is literally tiny. How am I going to cope? Well, I was so thankful that they said they were going to be like checkups, follow-ups and all that. So we had to stay in the hospital for that. During their 4 hours checkup, they discovered that I think he's a bit jaundiced. So the nurse says he's going to get a doctor. They're going to do a bilirubin test on him. They took blood samples from him. It came back like he had traces of jaundice in him, and so they're going to put him under light. So they started with double lights for 12 hours. After 12 hours, they did another blood test. It's come back lower, and so they're going to switch from double light phototherapy to single light phototherapy. And when he's under the light, I can always bring him out to breastfeed him, because the doctor says the more he breastfeeds, the more he's able to pass those poo. It will clear off the bilirubin in his body. When he was under light, I have to wake up every 3 hours or every 2 hours, or as much as possible. He's giving me a cue for feeding. I bring him out, I feed him, I take him back, I put him back in the light. In the light, he has to be naked, no diaper or nothing. Direct light. They covered his face. Light doesn't affect his eyes. So we're doing that for 12 hours, another 12 hours. So he was in the light for 2 days. On the second day, he was supposed to be off the light. It was not peeing. And I told them that this was I don't think he's done a pee 24 hours. We should just monitor him. If he doesn't pee for the next 24 hours, we would have to get the neonatal doctor to come check on him. So the neonatal doctor came to check on him. Probably he's not feeding enough because their lungs are still a bit small, and because he is premature, when you feed him a bit, he would slip off on his feed. So he keeps slipping off on his feed and he's not feeding properly. There's no way he will pee. There's no way the jaundice will clear off from his system. And if he keeps on not being able to eat enough, probably because his lungs is working too hard trying to suck from my breast milk, and she will have to take him to the NICU, intubate him, so he's getting fluid through a tube, and it will also be kept under the light. To avoid that, she suggested that I should be expressing my milk because my breast was engulfed. Each time I feed him, I'll write it down. And after writing it down, how long did he feed for, I'll write it down. So they were monitoring his feeding a lot. After he's breastfed, we'll now top it up with the expressed milk just to ensure that it's getting a little bit more fluid. Even now that we're back home, it's still the same thing because they said his weight is about 7.5 lower, and so he needs to pick up. So the community midwife keeps coming to the house like every 2 days to check his weight. He needs to keep expressing milk to just ensure that he's not just sleeping off while he's sucking. He needs to suck for at least 10 to 20 minutes. If it's not, then we need to top up with the expressed milk in a bottle. It was just a lot. We had to stay an extra 2 more days just to monitor that. The jaundice has cleared off his body. It was off the light on Wednesday. We got discharged on Thursday. That was how we gave back to this my surprise wonderful baby. So will I be going again because it's another boy now? I'm officially outnumbered. I don't know. I think I'm contented. Before, when I was pregnant and I discovered I was a boy, I want a girl, probably I would go again. But now that I've had him, taking care of 2 babies, 1 toddler and a baby, it's not easy, and I feel for my husband who will do most of the heavy lifting. I'm looking after the baby while he's looking after the toddler. Imagine if it's a third hand who will look after that one. And everybody that keeps saying you need to give us a baby girl, one on a day to come and look after these ones. All of you, I'm out to get. I better go. Everybody should mind their business. And I would say, I don't know if this is a thing, but they used to say that if you exercise daily while you're pregnant, it helps you to have a very fast delivery process. This is the second baby I'm having, and the first one was within 2 hours of contracting, it came out. This one also, under 2 hours, it also came out. So I want to believe that the exercise thing they talk about it's real, it's helpful. If you've been exercising before you got pregnant, they will always tell you to keep doing it. Your body understands, body is able to do it. But if you find yourself that you are falling sick or you are not too healthy to keep up with your exercises, do what you can, but you're not doing anything at all, will not help you. Fitness is a good thing when you're pregnant because it helps you ensure you're on top of your pelvic floor exercises. You're just making your body flexible. At the end of the day, one big lesson I've learned in this journey is God is the one that keeps a baby. He gives you this child. If he says this child will survive, it will survive. If it's not the time for the child to survive, it might just be a learning curve for you. There's no reason for you to worry about anything because at the end of the day, these children are God's children. You're just the steward, so I don't think it's something you should worry about. If it's God's plan and purpose for your life, God will always keep them, and He will grant you the grace to not be negligent, the wisdom to be able to do the right thing to keep the child safe also. And I hope you've learned one thing or the other. If you have any questions, I think that's all I can remember. And I'm thankful to God that we have another edition, and I pray that God helps us in this season. And I pray for anyone that is going through anything, currently pregnant or looking unto God for the fruit of the womb, the Lord would make delivery, conceiving easy. Pregnancy will be smooth sailing. God will open your womb if you are expecting or you are hoping for this kind of beautiful blessing. God will open your womb, will help you to do the right things to get there. We all have all our heart desires that we're looking unto God for, even much more than we expect. So thank you guys. Do not forget to like, do not forget to share, do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Catch you guys in my next video.
You still want me, I hope you still need me.